Do you feel restricted, like you can't really express yourself? Do you feel like the weight of the world is on your shoulders? Well, I'm here to tell you that there is an aspect going on in September 8th that's really going to magnify those feelings if you already feel those feelings, or bring those feelings to light. This is because on September 8th, the Sun in Virgo will form an opposition with Saturn in Pisces. I'm going to be discussing this energy and the other energies going on in September 8th and 9th of this year. Welcome. If you're new, my name is Zephyr Curdy. I do videos every couple of days where I talk about astrology and I pull oracle cards from various oracle decks that I have, including the Mystical Shaman Oracle, which I'm using today. If you're interested, please stick around, like this video, subscribe to my channel if you're interested in this, and I hope that you enjoy this video. So let's talk about the Sun-Saturn opposition. So with this particular energy, there can be restrictions and difficulty with this. Saturn limits self-expression. In astrology, Saturn is considered at detriment in Leo and at fall in Aries. Saturn limits the innocent childlike part of you that just wants to express yourself and go about the world in a really positive, inspirational, and innocent type of way. Saturn is like, nope, we need to get down to reality. We need to face reality. We need to look at all sides of things. We need to look at both the good and the dark, particularly the dark aspects, because Saturn has a bad rap of being a malefic planet that makes it very pessimistic because it rules the sign of Capricorn. And that's the shadow side of Capricorn, is getting into pessimism. So we can find that we feel guilt, loss, grief, sadness, or low self-esteem at this particular time. Guilt is what I'm feeling. I've done things in the past that I view as bad. Um, Basically, I've deleted things. I've deleted actual things that I created, and I've deleted states of being that I could experience. And in my mind, I view myself doing those things as bad and wrong. Um, And so that's what I'm currently dealing with, and currently working through and trying to get over and rise above those things. But it's very, very difficult because it really affects my state of being now and what I view now in my life as being what it is in my mind. So, um, Saturn can really bring about this feeling of guilt, this feeling of that you can't go back and change the past. Saturn is about the consequences of your actions. The consequence of me deleting YouTube channels and me deleting videos, and me sampling YouTube videos without finishing them, brings a negative consequence of guilt. And so Saturn is really all about the hard, cold reality of things. And so this can amplify that. Maybe you want to break from your responsibilities. Maybe you want to take a break from your responsibilities. You don't want to face the responsibilities and burdens and obligations that you have at this time. Separating yourself from others can lead to feelings of rejection and isolation. So these two things are very prominent at this time. There can also be strained relationships with authority figures. You can have difficult relationships with a father or somebody in the government, for instance, on the collective level. Um, there's just difficulties with authority figures to tell you this is what you're supposed to do, and feeling like they are limiting you in some way or another. This can create difficulty when it comes to feeling very demanding and having impatience from others onto you. So Others are feeling very impatient, and demanding to you, and you're feeling that same way to others. And so this can create some difficulty with this. This can also bring about misery and frustration as well. Now, the key thing with this is to put in the hard work and have patience when it comes to reaching your goals, knowing that it's not going to be just a snap of your fingers. It's going to take time. It's going to take a lot of dedication and commitment and focus, and you being willing to put in the work to reach whatever goal that you have. And you may want to do things alone. This is not the most social of energies. You want to do things alone, um, solo, on your own, independently, so that this transit may make you feel like doing those things. Now, the sun will also sextile the moon. So this is an influence that's positive. The sextile is a window of opportunity that we intelligently take action upon. So, sextiles present positive aspects, but it's us to take one step toward the gods for them to take 10 steps toward us. The sextile requires us to take action, requires our part in taking advantage of the energy, because the sextile is sitting, but we need to just go to it and pull it up and, take advantage of it. So the sun sextile moon can create a positive feeling of inner balance and peace inside yourself, and you can feel content with your life in general. Um, it's easier now to see the good things in your life and the harmonious aspects of your life. A good thing to do during this time is to see and notice all the positive things around you, no matter how flawed or ruined you view that they might be. It's good to let go of certain past memories regarding those things and just be present with seeing all the good things around you in your life. This is also great for sorting through relationship issues. And your approach is more fair. And right now, you can better see all sides of an issue. So you're feeling more diplomatic, you're feeling more equilibrium-minded. This is a good time to talk about issues in your relationships, because the moon is one of the relational planets in astrology, second that to Venus and Mars. So, we can have emotional bonds right now and mutual respect. These two things can really be sort of the magnifying glasses focused in on bonding in an emotional way and having mutually, genuinely loving relationships. This is also great for any kind of socializing. Now, the moon will also trine Saturn, so this mitigates the sun opposite Saturn influence. So, the moon is in the sign of Scorpio, Saturn's in Pisces. So, this influence of the moon trine Saturn can make us feel more self-reliant. We're feeling more self-reliant. We're feeling more like we're depending on ourselves. We feel the determination to not give up when it comes to our goals and ambitions. Um, we can feel patience and emotional strength that can come about. We're feeling more patient. We're feeling like we can be resilient through any kind of challenge that makes us feel a certain way, a certain negative way emotionally. Like we have thick skin. We can resist the pull of the waves of the ocean taking us into the ocean. We're sort of on the beach in a safe and secure place, and we're not allowing the waves and the whirlpool to suck us down into the depths of, what is that whirlpool hole, and black holes and those types of things like that. So this is a time where going by the book and sticking to traditional ways of doing things can pay off when it comes to finding new solutions of fixing problems. Our instincts are strong and common sense is strong, so using our intuition and also consulting with our logical mind and having common sense, both of these can work really well for us at this time. This is also good for paying attention to, paying respect to wise individuals, including your ancestors, seeking wisdom from people, seeking guidance from people, and not feeling obligated necessarily to follow that guidance, just be open to consider it, be available for it. This is good for any kind of endurance. We may feel greater emotion, like we've grown emotionally, like we've matured emotionally. And seeking any kind of wisdom and guidance at this time is positive. Now, I did pull a card from the Mystical Shaman Oracle by Colette Byrne-Reed, Alberto Villoldo, and Marcelo Lobos. And the card that I pulled for September 8th is a beautiful one, the Heart of Sky. Look how beautiful that card is. The Heart of Sky. So this is saying that you are basically, I forgot to read it from the guidebook. So let me read the essence of the card from the guidebook so that you can get an understanding as to the background of the card, what it's really about. Let me find it here. So the essence. The heart of sky is the love force that makes all creation possible. This same force is present when you create with originality, when you bring formlessness to form or inspired ideas to expression. This primeval force does not know good or bad. It is up to us to provide the clear intention that will guide it to manifest. The heart of sky helps us call in beauty from the invisible world and birth it in the world of matter. So this is saying that you co-create your life with spirit. You are a powerful co-creator. You are a channel for creation. This is about picking up your cooking utensil and using it to cook the meal that you want to make. Picking up that paintbrush and painting that painting. Picking up that clay material and doing what you can there. Picking up your tools and getting into the machine and fixing those cogs. So, this is about really manifesting what you want to manifest, but it comes from co-creating what you want to manifest. So this is excellent for that. This is about setting your intentions for whatever you want to manifest. For example, I want to manifest an oracle deck that I'm creating called the Amenton Realms Oracle. It's a deck based off of an imaginary realm that I came up with when I was little called the Amenton Realm. And it has different cards, different Amenton leaders and places and journey markers on it and messages in the cards. And so that's one thing that I want to manifest. Another thing I want to manifest is a book that I'm writing called Virgo about a monstrous pipe plant who that exists in a future world, and this young person, this young adult, this older teenager has to destroy the Uranus in order to bring peace and happiness once again to the people of Zenongovia, the future world. So that's another thing I want to manifest. So whatever it is, set your intentions. Like, I want to manifest this thing. But don't tell the universe in what form, in what way should this manifest. Just say, I want to manifest this. Set your intentions, release them to the universe, and be open to guidance, suggestions, be open to surprises, be curious, like I wonder about this thing, and let the universe sort of deliver you the results that you're sort of bringing home the bacon in that sense of thinking. So you're sort of having your intentions, you're releasing the form of them out to the universe and letting things unfold, but also co-creating what you want to manifest. So it's both and with this kind of thing. Moving on to September 9th, the very, very first aspect that we have going on is Mercury is going to re-enter Virgo. It's going to stay here until September 26th. So this is a time to be discerning, to really think about what you're watching, what you're reading, what you're investing your emotional energy in, what you're investing your mental energy in, and is it good for you? on an emotional, mental level? And also the people in your life. Are they good for you? Are they going to motivate you to move towards a greater outcome? Are they going to motivate you to move towards a greater um, sort of image of something that you want in your life? Are they going to help you, or are they going to hold you back? Are they going to nurture you or be distant from you? These are the kind of things worth considering when it comes to people, when it comes to things, places, situations, relationships. This is a time to do some self-analysis, some self-reevaluation, and to pay attention to the little details, because Virgo is all about the little tiny details that define who you are as a person. The habit patterns, the way you rub lotion on your skin, the way you brush your teeth in the morning, the way that you walk, these little details. Um, Now is the time to increase and find efficient ways of doing things. Self-improvement in any regards is positive under this influence. This is a very functional influence. Like, what is the function of what I'm doing? How does this function? How can I make this more functional, more better able to work? This is a time for any kind of critical thinking as well, so getting into history, math, physics, any kind of those things can be favorable at this time. It's important to be discerning about the thoughts that you think and the information that you take in, and what pieces of information are you going to act upon and what information are you going to dismiss. And what conversations are you going to participate in? And are those conversations, do they resonate with you or do they not resonate with you? This is about looking at what serves you on an intellectual level and what does not. This is about embodied learning, not just theoretical learning. And so this is about integrating the changes to our thought patterns and communications that we've sort of reviewed over the Mercury retrograde, because this is Mercury's second time moving into the sign of Virgo. So we can gain more clarity at this time over the things that we've reviewed during Mercury retrograde, over the thoughts, communications, informations, conversations, messages, things like that. All Mercury-related matters. We have a new level of awareness now that we didn't have before, as Mercury is finishing up its post-retrograde shadow in the sign of Virgo. When it hits 4 degrees of Virgo, it's done with the shadow, it moves on. The moon will also oppose Uranus. So when the moon opposes Uranus, there can be conflicts when it comes to your need for freedom and independence, and to walk your own path, to march to the beat of your own drum. It's at odds with your emotional needs, what you need on an emotional level to be nurtured. This can present uncertainty and mood swings. You can feel anxious and maybe a heightened sense of anxiety. So if you're more prone to being nervous or anxious, then this might just, amplify it at this time. There can be a need for change and stimulation. That's a really, really big piece of this. It's important not to react too quickly, um, especially if you're blocked to making the changes that you want to make. If you want to make changes, if you want freedom, if you want to go up to that road and walk the hill to mountaintops, if you want to get in that car and drive to a place that's very, very far from your home, to get away from your immediate environment, for instance, there may be blockages, there may be setbacks to all those things. So it's important not to react to those blockages, but just to surrender to them and find a healthy compromise between your serving your relationships, but also serving your need for freedom. So your instincts and intuition can be unreliable at this time. This can be a time where the impulsive things that you do, the sudden decisions that you make, can lead to chaos and conflict in your life. And that's actually one of the cards from Wisdom of the Oracle. That oracle deck by Colette Byrne read is chaos and conflict. That's what this can lead to. Um, and I happen to have that deck in my collection. So this can create ungrounded reactions. Like your reactions are not rooted in reality. They're not pragmatic. They're not well thought out. They're not rational reactions. And so this is the time to express your feelings in a productive way. The moon will also trine Neptune in Pisces. So the moon is nearing at the very, very tail end of Scorpio, and Neptune's in Pisces. So this can bring about sensitivity and heightened emotions, or maybe you're finding like your creativity and imagination is enhanced. Anything artistic can be favorable under this influence, like any writing, singing, grass painting, um, car driving, house painting type thing. Anything that involves um, your creative mind. This is also good for creative writing as well. Your intuition can be stronger at this time. This is also good for any kind of selfless service um, that is positive for you. So any kind of giving selflessly to others. You may be seen as understanding and compassionate. You may be a shoulder to cry on. You may be somebody who's others turn to and talk about their problems with you and your understanding what they're going through at an emotional level. There is a heightened sense here of unconditional love and understanding of others at this time. The moon will square Mercury in the sign of Virgo. So when the moon enters Sagittarius, the moon will square Mercury. So this can make you feel opinionated. This can make you care a little what others think. This is not a good time to tell people what to do, how to think, how to act. Um, Not good for telling people how to live their life. This is a time where we want to internalize our feelings. Not necessarily outwardly express them, but internalize them. This is good for any hard mental work, any work that requires your mind and requires your rational thinking skills and your critical thinking skills and attending to the details of things. Your feelings can cloud your rationality. This is a conflict because the moon is square Mercury. This is a negative aspect. So your feelings, your emotional nature, and your subjective sense of reality is in conflict, because squares represent conflict of your mind and your intellect and your rationality. So you can find that that's certainly the case here. This is good for releasing any inner tension that you feel and not falling prey to becoming defensive in conversations with others. This is what you want to do is find healthy ways of expressing your feelings. So this is about finding healthy ways to let your feelings get them off your chest. The moon will sextile Pluto. This is the final aspect for September 9th. So this can create deeper relationships with others that you may find your connections are deeper and more profound. You maybe have greater control over your subconscious mind. Maybe you can access deeply buried feelings and traumas of the past and face them head on and move through them. Any kind of habit pattern that does not serve you, whatever it is, now it's time to release that from your life. Now, the card that I pulled for September 9th is the Beloved. Isn't that a gorgeous card? And this card is saying that love is the only answer. This is what this is saying. The Beloved. Just look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? It has a heart on it. Isn't that pretty? So I'm going to read the essence of the card from the guidebook. This is card number 5. So card number 5, let me find it here. So this is what it says. The beloved is the recognition of spirit in another, and moving towards spirit through the other. It is when the divine appears to us in the form of our child, our partner, our friend, and our experience being in love. As we grow, we start to recognize the beloved in everyone, not confusing their personality with their divine nature. So this is about opening up to all forms of love. Opening up to love, being open to love from partners, from videos that you watch online where the person's very loving, from things you're reading of people loving, just being open to love in all forms, speaking, writing it, showing it, maybe acts of service, maybe words of affirmation, whatever it is. And this is also a time where not only being open to love, but expressing love. You're expressing your love for life. You're expressing your love out to the world in whatever way that you're doing it. Um, Especially this is also good for, this is a time to connect deeply and lovingly with another person and having loving connections with others. So this is what this is about. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you on another video. So all I can say is bye for now.